Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, get 'em!
Welcome back to this week's YouTube and Facebook Live, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we got our regular face back in here. Jay Bird, welcome back to the waterfowl den.
Thanks, man.
I got the boat back up. If y'all didn't watch last week's YouTube Live, it was definitely something different out of the ordinary. So I encourage you to go back and listen to last week's live. But it is nice to have the boat back.
Yeah.
I felt a little off. Boy, it has got cold out there, ain't it?
Yeah, I just looked at the weather right before me and you got on here, and I saw 39 at 6 a.m. and 37 at 7 a.m. in the morning.
It is, that wind kicked up today, and it really brought in some cold weather. I mean, it almost felt like getting ready for duck season.
Yeah, it did.
Tonight it's supposed to be 46 and then 39 and then down in the 40s. I mean, that is I can't wait. So today was the first day I actually went deer hunting. I took my son out deer hunting. I don't know if he enjoyed it. He slept through it. He slept through 75% of the hunt. I ain't gonna lie. I wish somebody would have held me up there and I could have took a nap too. Right? So, but man, you had a.
I probably would have took a nap this evening too. I imagine.
I mean, he got up there and he was watching this stuff, and then the next thing I know, he done got a little sideways, and I'm like, I better hold on to him. And he was out cold.
Usually at that age, for a few minutes, it don't take much. They out.
Yeah, I got put some extra clothes on him so he wouldn't be cold, and I guess after eating supper and them jackets on, he was out cold. But I didn't have to worry about him scaring the deer or anything because he was super quiet.
Hey, let me fix this camera right quick.
All right. You just want to show off your trophies on the walls. All you want to do.
That's real foot stuff there.
That's a good looking shirt you got on. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't remember who got this from. I don't know where I got it from. I got a hat. Every time I show it, you don't want me showing it though, because you said that was a
that's a one-off special edition.
collector's edition.
I wear mine all the time, and it's held up really well, really well. So a lot of people I know watch when you come on, and we talk typically hunting and shotgun shells and all kinds of stuff. but a lot of them don't know that you live in Georgia, in a town that I can't. I Swanee, I've known you for about 2 years now, and I still can't pronounce it, much less spell it. I mean, I know it's down there in them pecan orchards, but you down there in Georgia. That's all I know. I can point to it on the map, but I can't spell it or say it. But y'all Georgians got pretty bad weather during that hurricane, and y'all just starting to recoup, right?
I got some guys that work with me that still don't have power.
Really? That's been what, 3 weeks now?
I got some guys. Friday will be 3 weeks. I got some guys that live southwest of me. That and they live a pretty good ways off. But yeah, there's some of them that still don't have power.
How long were you without power?
Ours went out sometime Friday morning, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and we got it back the following Thursday afternoon, about 1 or 2 o'clock, I think.
Man,
Is there
still? Do you still see a lot of damage and stuff around town?
Well, they just ain't never got it up. Most everybody's got it away from their houses and stuff, but no, I mean it's all still stacked up in front of people's houses. I mean, I think everybody's got it off of their houses and stuff like that, but there's still stuff stacked up everywhere.
Yeah. Hey Jeff, welcome back this week. I watched the video, so this has been like, I swear, this hurricane has like totally destroyed my schedule, like my videos, like I mean, it is crazy. I mean, the hurricane came in, and then disruption, and then work, and then going up to North Carolina to help out. It has been crazy, and I went with Baptist on a mission out of North Carolina. I think their headquarters is somewhere near Raleigh or something, but I signed up with them, and I took the truck and the tractor and chainsaws and all, and went up there. And the host church, because they want people to register and just not show up, but the host church was First Baptist of Hendersonville, or Henderson First Baptist, something like that. But man, the people. And then we went out from there the first day. We're in Hendersonville, but I would say like not in the city. It would definitely be the county, and there were trees everywhere. But the second day we went out to Fletcher, North Carolina, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, there were trees, the water lines, and we didn't even get into like the nuclear bomb of the storm of Bat Cave and Chimney Rock and all that, and Old Fort. Man, they are, it's crazy. I'm watching the videos now of them, and it's still, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a once in a life. We hope that's a once in a lifetime thing that they faced up there, and what we faced in Georgia. Florida got messed up pretty good too.
Yeah, but at least with Florida, it just a little bit of wind and flooding. Not that them people didn't get their house destroyed either, but North Carolina had all them flash floods. I mean, it was just crazy.
I got a guy that is a contractor where I work at, and he's actually got a vacation home, I guess you'd say, and up above Pigeon Forge, and he was talking about they went up there. He's got a pilot's license, and they flew up there, and I forgot where he told me where they flew into, but I can't remember where. But they drove to check on it, and their place was fine, but his place it's built way up on a hill, about 30 foot up from where the river's normally at. but they've got a stone wall that's about halfway from his house down to the riverbank, and he said that the river made it up to that stone wall.
Wow.
He said when he got there, he was finding all kinds of stuff, and he could tell where the water line was in the trees. And he said I could show you a picture of it, but it's not gonna do it justice. You're not gonna get the full aspect of it unless you just actually see it.
Yeah. Jeff commented said that it's gonna be a while for them people even get back to normal. But you watch all these videos and stuff of people up there, everything's destroyed, like destroyed and gone, and they're just like, well, we're gonna rebuild and we're gonna help our community. And I mean, it's like, they already mourned it, and time to rebuild. Let's go. I just wonder if later if the shot's gonna kick in, or they just
My hat goes off to people in Florida and Louisiana because they deal with these hurricanes more than probably anybody else does.
I
And
agree.
I don't know how they do it. I don't.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I know they're more accustomed to them than what we are, but I mean, I'll be 54 years old in November, and I have never, in all the ice storms I've ever seen in the state of Georgia, I've never seen anything even come close to what this thing did in Georgia.
Yeah. The hurricane season ain't over yet. They're tracking another one out there now. I mean, it, the way it's looking, um, it ain't. It looked like it might stay more towards the Gulf of Mexico, but you never know. Um,
Well, maybe it'll just cut circles until it winds down to nothing, and we may get a little rain because I mean, we got some rain out of this last one, but it went through us so fast. I mean,
yeah,
just
I
like 15 hours. It went from Tallahassee, Florida to North Carolina, and I'm like, what in the world?
yeah, I know. Like I told my wife, I've never went to bed, and 10:30, 11 o'clock, went to bed. The hurricane hadn't even made landfall yet, and then when I wake up 6:30 in the morning, it's already gone past me in South Carolina, at the top of South Carolina.
It's I mean, I don't deal with them like people in Louisiana do, but I mean, I don't think I ever remember one doing like what that one did.
Yeah, it was because that uh, front that was already there coming in.
It was awful.
Yeah, and Jeff said, it's sad that that the news and around here hadn't been reporting it. Like, I think that they don't want to report it because of how bad it really is. I don't even know if they really even know a head count of how many people are still probably missing.
It's awful. I mean, it's
Yeah,
awful.
you know, I know you were watching when I was talking about it before it even hit landfall. I was saying, man, I just don't feel comfortable about it.
I
But
remember
this is Mike's weather page, which is spaghetti models, and then here's the what they got looking like now.
yeah.
It looks like it might be tracking, which you can be like, for us is like, man, I'm glad it ain't tracking, but darn, all them islands down through there, they're going to get hammered, and they're not set up for it either. I mean, hey, look at us, all the stuff we got. Half of them don't even have great weather detection to start with.
Small islands, they can't get away from it.
No, no, they sure can't. And it ain't like a lot of them islands. Hey, you need to evacuate. Hey, they can't afford to evacuate.
Okay.
And so I hope that like you said, I hope it fizzles out well
Yeah.
before. Right now, it's showing 30 mile or 30 knots, so that's probably what 30, 40 miles wind. So hopefully it don't pick up. But it definitely looked like. And then on this view here, this was tonight, just a little bit ago. It shows this one here has got a 40% and this one's a 20%. I mean, even if it curved in down there in Mexico, this could be back-to-back storms for them.
Yeah, I think it's too unstable right now. They don't really know what it's going to do yet.
No, they don't. But I mean, it'd be nice if it, instead of curving into Mexico, it just curve on out into the Atlantic and just be gone. Hopefully after these two, that might put the nail in it, but you never know.
Yeah, you don't ever know.
So you did get to go one time duck hunting in early till, didn't you? No, you didn't go at all? That's terrible.
Dovehunting the Saturday after the hurricane, because we couldn't do nothing else anyway.
Right.
And it ended up being a bust. I'm 99.9% sure all that weather just. We had a few birds, but I think that run them out. But we didn't. But no, I didn't. I didn't even get a chance to go.
Well, you know, I had an awesome till season, so
Several pictures.
yeah, I'm not trying to brag about it, but that right there is the best till season I have ever had. If you took my best early till season and multiplied it by 10, that's what this early season would be like.
I hadn't even loaded a shotgun shell in over a month.
Well, I haven't reloaded any for sure, but I definitely that TSS steel duplex is really, really nice. Like, it hits hard, but I found out one thing though with shooting it to do a water swat on a cripple. I don't know if it's because the stream is so long with that TS. I'm holding. I don't know if you see that. That's a goose foot. I got it on my desk here. I forgot I even had it in my hand. I was waving it around, but I don't know if the TSS is just outrunning the steel or whatever, but the shot string was like way long, especially in that water. And you know, crippled, when you shoot, they hear the boom and they go under, and then, you know, as soon as them pellets hit that water, they're not going to penetrate the water because they just stop. But man, you get it in the air, and it was, if you were on it, I mean, stone cold. That TSS was on it.
I can't wait to shoot some of mine. We're going to Florida in December, and I can't wait to see what they do down there.
Jeff said that the past 2 weeks have been terrible for them, so dry that they're passing by. Jeff, I know I'm pretty sure you're in North Carolina. I don't know what area. You don't have to say, you know, what town, but just give me an area, because North Carolina, I'm pretty sure has open season, but it's something to do with an interstate or something. I can't remember. It's some road, and I think it's a number. And if you hunt, I believe to the, I don't know if it's left or right. I might have to pull it up. But they got a weird hunting season. Like, one comes in early.
So
see if I can pull it up. I don't know. I'm sure. No, he says, "Oh, I'm in Nebraska, around Omaha and Lincoln." Oh, well, I had the end right. I mean, you know, North Carolina and Nebraska isn't that far away if you're in an airplane, like fighter jet. So yeah, let's see. pull up. We'll see what the weather look like out that way. I ain't never
I'm
been
sure
in Nebraska.
it's probably cold.
Well, I saw something about the weather in Texas and it's going to be warm. Have you seen all the fires? Let me pull this up. Oh, have you seen all the fires out west? Like crazy.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably about like them covering the news story of North Carolina. So look at all these fires. Like I love my radar, I ain't even gonna lie. So all these fires out west, like massive amounts of fires.
Golly.
Yeah, and then like when you click on them, it'll tell you, which wildfire, and then I think it'll tell you the location, and then it tells you how much of it's contained too. I mean, look at all these wildfires. I mean, I don't even know where I clicked. I just literally clicked somewhere over here, but we have 15% contained. And then when you zoom in, I need to turn on the weather, see what the temperature is. 46, 60 for the daytime, Island, Idaho. Let's see.
It's gonna be here in the next couple days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you go. Right there is 64. Well, it's probably during the daytime. Well, let's see. 8 o'clock. They might still have a little bit of sunlight still out there. He just said we had not had a drop of rain since mid-August. My goodness. No wonder everything's on fire out there.
It ain't nothing to stop it.
Sure ain't. I tell you, we haven't had rain since the hurricane. And just because we got so much rain during that hurricane, I had one tree that fell, a hickory. Man, I hate cutting up a hickory tree. But it is so wet that the tractor sunk into the ground a good 8 inches. I thought I was gonna have to use the bucket to back out, but I mean everything is still just drenched. Probably because it hadn't been hot enough to, dry up.
We got, I'm gonna say we might have got 2 inches out of the last hurricane that come through that tore up everything, but I think it's because it was going so fast. But the one prior to that, we got a bunch of rain out of it. But those two, and I could be wrong, but I don't remember it if I am. But those two hurricanes were the only thing that we have gotten since about the middle of August. It's been that dry here.
Ah, I don't think we're gonna get done in the next week or
They're
two.
not calling any for any here. I think it's the next 10 or 12 days.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people around here starting to pick peanuts, and I mean, I know they don't want no bunch of rain, but they probably would like for it to get a little bit of moisture to help them dig the peanuts a little bit easier. But I mean, it's dry here. It's real dry here.
You ever hunted the peanuts?
Hunted?
Yeah.
You talking about as far as duck hunting?
Oh, waterfowl, geese.
We've shot geese over them, yeah, but not waterfowl. Deer is
Jeff said they're having 40-mile-per-hour south winds the next 2 days. They're in severe fire risk, and harvest is in full swing. Jeff, it's so hot. It's so hot and windy out there. That's what they always say. You don't even fart out there because it might start a fire. But
yeah.
I looked up. I was looking up the map for North Carolina since I mentioned North Carolina. I thought Jeff was in North Carolina. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was that far out yonder. You know what we need to do, Jay? We need to make a road trip.
Sounds like
Jeff, you got an extra bed? So here's I'm gonna pull this back up on the map here on the screen here. So there, North Carolina, which just right above me, the ducks in inland duck zone starts October the 17th. So like tomorrow, they're gonna have a 2. So I guess that's Friday. No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're gonna have a 3-day duck hunt in North Carolina, and that's the I-95 that I was talking about with the interstate. So look like they're gonna have a 3-day hunt. That'd be awesome to drive up and
Like on the coastal side?
yeah, inland. Well, it says inland, so no, it would be this area. Sorry,
The left
yeah,
side, no.
the left side. I did say right side, but I said last week I couldn't read, so
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big difference in inland and coastal, and then North Carolina and Nebraska. History and English wasn't my greatest, but man, you think inland? There's probably now that picture wasn't that great. I was trying to make it bigger. Let's see. Man, I still didn't make no bigger, but this whole area of North Carolina, Cherokee, uh, where is all up in here is where they got hammered with that hurricane. It. Say it again. I talked over top of you. Sorry.
Duck is probably the last thing on their mind.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. When I was up there, my sinuses were killing me, like killing me, because, and it probably like out there where Jeff is. There were so many people burning trees. I mean, they literally, they were just cutting them down and getting them out of the road and piling them on top. I mean, when you go by and you see a subdivision fixing to go in, and they done piled up all the trees and they burning it. That's what it looked like everywhere you went.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't get rid of the trees fast enough. I mean, it's crazy.
I bet the lumber price.
Yeah. Just said geography may not be your strong point neither. He said nothing for a road trip, spring goose maybe. Man, I can't come this spring, Jeff. I'm not sure if I told Jay or not. I know I've talked about it, but I don't know how much I've talked about it. But early spring, I think it's in March. I think it's the end of March. I am going to Texas to try to scratch off a Rio. So my wife wouldn't allow me to do 2 road trips in the spring, Jeff.
I know some parts of Texas you could probably get the Rio and the Miriam.
Really?
You could knock both of them off.
Well, no, because I wouldn't be able to knock both of them out because I'm only going for 2 days, and I think the way the law was written, or code, or whatever you want to call it, I think it's a couple of day in between grace period, especially for non-residential. Probably to keep down on the help on the population. Be my guess. But yes, Jeff, I got many waterfowl in this room. I do not have a snow. I came very, very close in North Carolina to shoot a snow. We were swan hunting, and they were up above us, and the guy was like, let's just wait. Let's just wait. They might work. They might work. I mean, they were a little bit lower than sky blasting range. I mean, they wasn't sky blasting range, but they wasn't probably like, they definitely wasn't in the decoys, but they were in between in the decoys and sky blasting. He's like, let's and then they were gone. And then he was like, well, we probably should have shot at them. That's the closest I've been to a snow goose. We got a lot of them white non-shooting birds in South Carolina.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Old trash seagulls. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know about you in Georgia, but I know you'll see some seagulls, but when the hurricanes come up, it really pushes them seagulls.
Yeah.
But that was one thing that I was real concerned about, because, you know, when I was doing that hurricane weather, I was saying, you know, y'all, I think this is going to be bad. You know, it's going to be on a Friday, and I'm going hunting that next day. I'm like, I think it's going to be gone. I really don't know what the till's going to do. Like, is it going to blow them completely out? Is it going to blow them from the coast up? Man, we had an awesome hunt. I mean, the first weekend I got 2 blue wings. The next weekend, we were 1 bird shy of a 2-man limit. And then the next day after that, I don't even remember how many that was. 5. I think it was 5 blue wings. They were all blue wings. I mean, no green wings. And, you know, I missed a couple. Like there was like 2 that I went back and watched, and I hadn't even had time to do the video yet. There was 2 that, let's just say at least 1 that I missed so bad on the shot cam. Like, whenever I edit the video, I might not even show it. That's how bad of a miss it was. It was the good and the bad. What's worse than bad?
The ugly.
I mean, I look like Stevie Wonder out there trying to shoot. I mean, it was terrible. Like, I wasted a $4 shell in the air. It was crazy.
It tells you that is lying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Them big channels that always showing pile pics, and, you know, they're not showing any misses. Yeah, they're not hitting that many neither. But just said the lessers are a different animal to hunt, and the blue geese are beautiful. Yeah, I really want a Ross goose. That's some little teeny geese. They're like little teeny Canadians. It might be they might be closer to a duck size, but I'm pretty sure they fall in the geese family. Old Ross goose. But I definitely want that on my list. But yeah, I'm looking forward. December, man. December's coming around real quick. Going to Oklahoma.
Y'all ought to have out there.
I hope, man. The way Jeff talking there, Nebraska ain't getting no rain. I don't know, but I mean, December's a long ways away too. But I have never been to Oklahoma.
No, I haven't.
When I went to Texas last year, I was about 15 miles from Oklahoma, and I was like, I ought to take 15 minutes out of my time to ride across the border to say I went to Oklahoma. And then I got thinking about it. Well, that's another 15 minutes on the way back, and it wasn't worth the 30 minutes of my time. But I came pretty close to going to Oklahoma. But yeah, I hope, man. I'm telling you, I hope pintail. That's all I want. That's all I want.
That's my next.
I'm feeling lucky. The duck stamp this year is a pintail. Like, I think it's just like it's telling me it's meant to be.
I
Ours,
killed one, but it wasn't plumed out or nothing. But
yeah.
that's the one I feel sure we're probably gonna kill some redheads in December, but that's what I want. I want a plumed out pintail. That's what I want.
Jeff said that they got Ross out there late spring. Jeff, is that can you hunt the Ross late spring or they just show up late spring? Because I know snow goose season, man. Hey, I think some of them guys that hunt them snow geese, man, they started months ago and go all the way into like March and April. I mean, they chase them snow geese around, hundreds of decoys. You been deer hunting yet this year? Did I lose my mic?
Oh, was you talking to me?
Well, else? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I was talking to Jeff too, but no, I'm talking to you, Jay. Uh,
My work schedule ain't allowing that right now.
you were telling me earlier they are included in spring season. Sure, Jeff. Jeff talking about they are included. Man, nah, man, nah. I can't talk her into another road trip this year. Maybe next year. Not well. Next year would be this coming year. Maybe next waterfowl season, Jeff. A snow and a Ross. I could see it somewhere over here in my goose. Over here with my goose. I got a speckle belly. Should be coming back shortly somewhere that I got to put somewhere. Running out of space.
TSS will travel.
Absolutely, man. But your boy got a deer though this year, hadn't he?
Kill two with his bow.
Two with his bow, man. I got some deer in the backyard that get real close, and I feel like I might could take them out with a bow, but I don't know. I don't think my shakes could get me through using a bow. Like I still would get the jitter. Like I probably would mess it up.
Shooting a deer with a bow and shooting a deer with a rifle is like night and day.
Oh, 100%. I
I
mean,
used to,
I
but I don't care nothing about it no more. I used to didn't ever miss an open season, but I just ain't into it like I used to be.
I prepared, and then I know you've been watching some of my lives on the deer feeder out there. I prepared that section to hunt that section this year. I planted it. There's some clover coming up. There's some all kind of stuff, and then I got the bright idea to put a camera out there, and now they kind of like pets. Like, like I look forward to seeing the deer on the cameras. Like I don't even want to go out there and hunt anymore.
Yeah.
Jeff said, let him know, try to get him on in spring of 2026. That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. I mean, see, Jeff, you might not know it, but see, right here is the old Gray Goose logo. You know, that's me right there. I like to get dressed up, occasionally wear a bow tie. I'm gray headed and a grumpy old goose. And we don't even have a snow goose in South Carolina. I take that back. One of the guys that listens to the channel, he shot one last year, a blue in South Carolina. It was 100%, 100%. That Joker's GPS was broken.
Georgia, South Carolina, he is completely lost.
I don't know. I saw one flying with a pack of geese, but I mean, for snow to get over here in South Carolina where I'm at, He must have been following maybe one of the worst maps ever.
Yeah, they may get some up in North Georgia. I ain't gonna say they don't, because they probably do, but I don't know of anybody that's killing anything like that around here.
Yeah, and I know they get them up there in the Outer Banks of North Carolina and stuff like that on the coast, but man, I don't know. Occasionally somebody might get a speck out here in South Carolina too, but they're usually pretty lost. Jeff says the smell of deer steak will slap you out of not wanting to shoot a deer. I don't know, man. Well, let me take that back, Jeff. I did go today, and I told Jay, I said my little boy wants to go hunting. I'm gonna go get up in the tree with him before we get on the podcast and video here in the live. I said I'm gonna send you the link, but it's gonna be late because as soon as I get home, I'm jumping in the stand with him. And I sent Jeff Jay a picture, and it's in the stand. And about 10 minutes later, I sent him another picture. That jerker is knocked out cold. I'm talking about. He snorted one time. I thought he was going to wake himself up, but if he started snoring, I was going to have to wake him up so he wouldn't scare the deer away. But he didn't start snoring, but that joker was out cold. And then I was sitting there holding him, because obviously we're in a 2-person stand, and I didn't want to. Not that he probably would fall out, but I'm holding him the whole time, and I'm like, I set out to go hunting, and then like, this ain't even hunting. This is just like spending time with my son in the woods, and it's like this is like a memory versus hunting. And then I got to thinking, it was like, I wish they had these 2 people stands when I was a kid.
Yeah, they didn't have stuff like that when I was a kid.
Hey, no, man, we had I don't even know who made them. We're just gonna say Joe Blow down the street was making conduit deer stands, and I don't know why they never thought of a 2-person one. But I sure would have liked to, I was sitting there holding him. I was like, man, it sure would have been nice to hunt with my daddy and have memories like that. And then, like, when I was young, maybe a little bit older than him, they'd take you and put you in a deer stand and say, all right, you don't move. And here you are, young, out in the woods, and thinking Bigfoot's gonna come and get you, and
You don't get down till I come back and get you.
you doggone right. Hey, I was too scared to come down. But and he was old school too. It was dark before he came back. Yeah. Yeah, crazy. But yeah, I would have loved to have a 2-person stand back in the day. That probably would have helped a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But we didn't.
we had the Baker one-piece hug the tree climbing stand.
Yeah, the one you better tie a string to the bottom of it.
Oh no, it wasn't a 2-person. It was a 1-person.
No. I'm talking about the climber where you would have the string just in case the bottom of your feet one slid all the way down.
Yeah, because there wasn't one way to get down, and that was just to hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. There was so many people making conduit tree climbers back in the day too, but man, these new tree climbers now got that soft mesh in them. Shoot, I really think some of them jokers probably just get them stands to go sleep in the woods, because I'd fall asleep out there myself.
And they got some comfortable lighting now.
Yeah, man, them deer stands that I grew up in, you wouldn't fall asleep in it because your butt was hurting too bad. Old spanding metal.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, we are like literally When's Georgia waterfowl season come in?
November 18th,
November the 18th?
birthday.
Dang. That's like, how many days is that? That's obviously 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 12, 1, 31 days away.
Yep.
Just said the woods down south are scary. Everything is out to eat you. Here we are on top of the food chain. Honestly though, when I was younger, and this was definitely before driving, so late 80s, early 90s, I never saw coyotes. Like, I don't recall hearing them. I never heard them howling. Like, and I know that South Carolina introduced them into to take down the deer population, but like, yeah, I don't recall any of that stuff. Like,
I,
the only thing I had to worry about was the lizard man.
yeah. Y'all got the lizard man in South Carolina.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So let me pull that up. So, some people might not know the lizard man story. Oh man! Before I even look it up, what year you think it was?
Uh, Probably before when I remember it, but I remember it from the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So let's see. Pull it up here. Beware the lizard man. It was from Bishopville.
Yeah.
That says 1998, but I don't think that was 98 because I swear I remember it. I remember it for that. That might be a book or something wrote about it, but there's all kind of pictures. But I'm trying to find the date.
I'm thinking.
Maybe. Man, it was crazy. That's all they talked about on the news. And first mentioned in the late 80s. They don't have a date. First, 1988. So here it is, July 14th, 1988. The Lee County Sheriff's Office investigated a report of a car damaged overnight while parked behind the house in Bishopville. The car reportedly had teeth marks and scratches with hair and muddy footprints left behind them. Promoted by the news of the vehicle damage, the 17-year-old local reported at the sheriff that the car was damaged by a creature he described as a green, wet like, about 7 foot tall. He had 3 fingers, red eyes, skin like a lizard, snake-like scales 2 weeks prior. So the local radio station WCOS offered $1 million reward to anybody who could capture the creature alive. $1 million back in 1988 would have been a lot of money.
That thing would have been real. Somebody would have found that thing.
Oh my good. Oh, 100%. But yeah, I know I ain't saying it's real, but like cameras we got now, man. If there was a Sasquatch, I think somebody be done got it on camera by now. But yeah, man,
Yep.
I remember the t-shirts. Oh my gosh, they had t-shirts out. I survived the lizard man and all that. Jeff said, what area are you from, Jay Bird?
I live about 50, 60 miles south of Augusta, Georgia, where they have the Masters golf tournament.
Yeah, he can't even pronounce it. That's the way he lives. He lives in a town that nobody can pronounce.
Which was the one you trying to pronounce?
I had no idea, man. There's so many places down there in Georgia. And my mom commented. I remember watching the news. Yeah, about she said 9 years old. Yeah, that would have been about 88, 89. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
So then it says the airmen on Shaw Air Force Base, which is down there, and Shaw's down there near where Daddy Duck is. It says filed a police report because the man on Highway 15 and he had shot and wounded it, and he presented several scales and small quantity of blood as evidence. Yeah. Let's see.
sounds like some rednecks that have one too many Bud Lights is what it sounds like to me.
Boy, I tell you what. 2 days later, when he was arraigned for unlawfully carrying a pistol and a misdemeanor firing a false police report.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, this is before they had some crazy drugs like they got now.
Yeah.
The old lizard man of the old swamp, Lee County.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing down in Lee County other than I think the state prison.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeff says, I guess I'm going lizard hunting. I live in Grovetown, Georgia, by Fort Gordon Air Base when I was younger.
Yeah. It does not look like it did when he lived here, I promise you. Because
Done
that
build
area,
up.
yeah, it's built up, but that area got hammered by the hurricane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We was out of power for almost a week, but I had some guys that worked with me. They was out 2 weeks, and I mean, yeah, that area up there, it got Grovetown, Harlem, Apple, and all up that way. It got hit. It got hit pretty bad.
Before we got on, you said you were working. Y'all working crazy hours. You said 6/12s?
12 until November the 17th at the earliest.
Man, that's gonna make you feel old, man.
I already feel old.
Is that straight? You're not having to work couple days on day shift, couple days night shift. I don't see how the people work that, man. My body's too old to be taking swings like that.
You know, we have regular shift crews that work hours like that throughout the year, but when we have outages, they have straight days, straight nights, and you just have 1 day a week off, and you pick the day, and that's what you get till it's over.
Mm. Y'all doing shutdown, or is it just y'all just that far behind?
It's a shutdown. It's the same thing that Chris and them was on whenever you talk to him.
Yeah.
That Chris that does the duck calls and the grunt calls.
Right.
He just works he works on the plant next to the plant where I work.
So I'm gonna throw this back up on the map here because I have no idea where y'all talking about in Georgia. I know where Atlanta is, but so a little bit. I guess that's Warren Robins and then Denton and Douglas. They still got a lot of power outages.
Yeah,
11.
Dublin is probably 20, 25 my parents live.
So there was 1,100 still without power, and then Flint Energy's another 1,100. And then Georgia Power 161. Let's see what this one is. 612, 619, 161. Salalaya REMC, some kind of, or if that's a town or something. They got 1,400 people.
So you talking about Satilla?
Yeah, that might have been what it is. Georgia
Yes.
Power. Yeah, I mean, there's still, I mean, that if you took all these averages,
Yeah.
you probably talking close to 10,000 people in Georgia still don't have power.
Probably so.
I mean, this one here is 14. I mean, there's a lot of 1100s. 500. There's another 100. Yeah, and then up here, I mean, it'd be close to 10,000.
Yeah, I talked to a guy the Monday or Tuesday after the hurricane that I used to work with. I saw him at work, and he lives up above Clark Hill, Strong Thurman, whatever you want to call it. He said that they told, and he lives in a real rural area, but they had told them that they didn't think they would have power before November 1st.
That's crazy. I just pulled up here in Asheville. So, which I knew that power is going to be out in Asheville. I mean, I ain't crazy. I mean, I knew that, but um, so Asheville, there's three colors here. You got Asheville, like area, and then Spruce Pine area over here, and then Mars Hill. But they're on the blue here. They're under a freeze warning. I mean, them people already hammered that, and now they ain't got power. Now they're going to be up under freeze warnings. But when you click it, Duke is still showing 14,000 people without power. The French Broad EMC, that's close to 6,000. So I mean, that's over 20,000 there. And then when you click Yancey County, another 4,000. So what this one is?
Yeah, I'm at
Madison.
there
There's no
tonight. It's
20.
mid-20s up there tonight, probably.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if they calling for that, uh, 41 right now and 38. And, depends on where you at on what top of the mountain ridge. You probably make a lot of difference too. 39 that right now. This, which you probably can't see it on your phone, but that Baltimore forest, that's where they got a lot of flooding in there in Asheville Park. Yeah, 40s. Yeah. Spruce Pine definitely got hit pretty bad too.
Yeah, if
30s.
it's showing there, it's already in the upper 30s now. I imagine by it'll probably be mid to upper 20s. I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to look for South Carolina. I don't, like I said, 10-day forecast. There ain't a drop of rain until almost 2 weeks from now. And hey, all them are only 10%.
Yeah, I know all the guys that I work with that's got food plots and all they planted the first part of September. They are very, very food plots because we ain't had no rain. It ain't getting no rain.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get some before waterfowl season starts.
Yeah, we definitely gonna need it for them.
Have I told you I was ready for waterfowl season?
I
I might have not mentioned that.
hope that I'm off of work when ours opens. But
Just said his daddy owned a restaurant in Grovetown in the early 80s.
what was the name of it?
You gotta wait for him to type it in. Jeff, what was the name of that restaurant? It's like a 20-second delay too on the internet, so he probably hadn't got the question yet.
I work with a lot of people that way.
Say that again.
But I work with a lot of people that live up that way.
Oh, really?
Probably, probably 40, maybe it's according to where you're at up there, but somewhere around 40, 50 miles from the plant.
It says Grovetown drive-through.
I think I know where he's talking about.
Man, them drive-throughs, he drive in, dive in. The first one says drive-through, but then he edited it and said dive in. Um, them old drive-in, dine-ins, man, that's making me hungry. I like to have a good old hamburger. That's why I told my mama the other day, man, something about them old drive-through restaurants got them old greasy hamburgers. You can't get them at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Where that grease is just dripping off the bun. Oh man. He said it was by the police department.
Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah,
Jeff,
he hadn't been around Grovetown or Harlem in a long time. He probably would be shocked at what it looks like now, because it's not just necessarily from a hurricane, but it has grown by leaps and bounds.
just because suburbs are getting closer to Aiken, or
Just Augusta exploded and ended up in Columbia County. He'll know
I
what I'm talking.
I meant Augusta. I was thinking Aiken, but I said Aiken, but I was thinking Augusta. I about got
Columbia,
arrested. I about got arrested in Aiken. Not sure if I
Aiken.
ever. Yeah, no, or Augusta. Sorry, I just said them. Literally said them backwards twice. We were down there, and I was. That's what this has been. A good 7-8 years ago, and I was working for the county, and I was in an EMS vehicle, and it wasn't during the Masters, but it had to be either before or after. But we're riding down. No, I don't even know what street it is, but you're riding down Augusta, and the Masters is to your right, and there was like a sign that said, the Masters and a gate. Yeah, I just turned in. I was like, shoot, I'm just out sightseeing. I turned in. Oh my goodness. This man come running out with an AR. He hits it's like a 4x4 post with a panic button on it. And he starts waving a gun and screaming on the radio. And I'm like, whoa. And he's like, dude, you can't be here. You can't be here. I'm like, all I did was make a turn. You got to leave. I'm like, all right, well, calm down, man. I'm in a county vehicle. It ain't like nobody can't see the red lights and everything else on here. You got to go now. You got to go now. I'm like, well, if it was this top secret, you ought to have a gate on the road or something.
That was one.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. And then we rode down a little bit, maybe a little bit. And what was it? Electric Lux vacuum cleaners or something down through there?
Yeah.
Like a big meal or something. Like, I don't even know if they make vacuum cleaners there. I just remember seeing the sign on the building. But yep,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it now.
all I wanted them to do was see the golf course. All I saw was an AR-15 and a man screaming at me.
That ain't somewhere you want to try to get into if you ain't got a badge.
Yeah, well, I realize that now. I mean, all it was like the sign and like a 2-lane entrance in. I mean, no gate, no nothing. The trees are so big you couldn't see anything. So when I turned off that 4-lane into that little road, that was a bad decision. Joe said he'd be surprised that old place was still standing. It was small, mostly poor little town back then.
Yeah, it ain't like that no more. It's probably down. There's probably been a strip mall put there or a shopping center.
Probably so. But well, you got anything going on this week?
Work. That's it.
Work. I got at least 2 or 3 videos that I need to just edit. Like I said earlier, I haven't posted. Therefore, I don't even know how long back. I post every video on Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays and Sundays. I do shorts every night. but that's just what I'd say, stupid little videos. But the dedicated hunting videos, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. It's been at least 3 weeks since I've posted a video. I mean, I've literally had zero time with that storm coming and then going up there and helping out. I mean, it's just been chaotic. So I need to post
I
my
think the last,
son's.
go ahead.
You go.
I think the last one you posted was when you shot those. I sent you. I think it's a choke. I think.
That's right.
I,
So that was the last one. So I got my son shooting his first dove. I hadn't posted that one. I got teal season I got to post, and then I got all the rest of them shells that you sent me that I hadn't even tested in the choke. I mean, and it's this time of the year too. It ain't long after you get off work, it's starting to get dark. So
yeah.
Saturday, my Saturday this week is planned, hopefully, to take some of them other shells that you sent me and scratch a few of them off and test them out with some, different chokes.
To see what those do with the modified choke, because that's what I've been shooting mine with.
Yeah. So that's my plans this Saturday. So for the people that come on a regular Saturday and Sunday to look for my videos and wonder where they at, let's just say hurricane.
Yeah.
Because hurricane came, and then going up there the next weekend helping out. I was up there that whole weekend, and then last week they were replacing a generator at work, and all hands on deck on that. So I didn't get around to it, but this week I hope to have something at least one day, either Saturday or Sunday. So I'm gonna try to get back into it. But if you haven't noticed, I'm gonna say we because I can't do this all by myself. We have hit. I'm gonna pull it up for the correct number. Drum roll, please. As of right now, 8,448 subscribers on the channel. I thought if I ever got to 10,000, I would be lucky. And here we are fixing to knock down 9,000, and I am truly blessed, excited. I had a couple of shorts that just blew up, and a bunch of lives, especially with that deer live camera going on all the time. So and that was another thing. I went weeks, just 24 hours a day with that live streaming of the deers, and then it went through the hurricane. Like it recorded the winds, the storm, the rain. 2 days later, I couldn't keep the thing going. Like it would just drop and drop. I didn't have time to go inspect the cable. Like I didn't know what was going on. So I I I'm not gonna say it's 100% working, but the past 2 days it's been back up and streaming. So for the people that come to watch the live deer and the raccoons that probably out there right now eating while we're talking on here, because I just put some fresh corn out. It should be back. The birds should be back. But I don't know. I don't know if the storm did something. I don't know if it got water in the camera. I don't know, but I,
Was
I think it was a software issue, but I think I got that figured out. But who knows? Jeff asked what kind of chokes is Jaybird using. He is using kicks and comping chokes. I can go ahead and answer that for him, but Jeff, Jaybirds is real good friends with both of them, and I ain't gonna say they're family to him, but they're probably pretty close to family, wouldn't you say, Jay?
I've done a lot of business with them. They're as good a people as you could ever ask for them to be.
Yeah, and that's what I was. So I got that A 300, and I am glad to say, I when I got my A 300, they didn't have the A 400, and I really, as soon as that A 300 got delivered, that's when they introduced the 20 gauge and the A 400, and I was kind of mad about it. But now watching Lizard Man takes the camera. Yeah, you're right. The Lizard Man took out my camera. But after watching what's his name? Waltz, um the VP that's trying to run for president. Have you seen that video of him trying to load his A400 up? Oh man, he's out bird hunting and he's trying to load his A400, and I'm not gonna laugh at him because there has been times, and my Browning, me and my Browning got a love-hate relationship sometimes. I fight with getting I fight with getting a shell in there. I was gonna say I feel sorry for the man, but I don't know if I want to go that far. But he's struggling to get shells in his shotgun, and man, the internet and the memes have been tearing him up. And I kid you not, my buddy, Jeff said it's a funny video. It is kind of funny. Now this man, he lies about everything, but he's trying to load this gun up, and he's telling all about the A400. He was like, yeah, it's got this and he's saying he couldn't say kickoff, but it's got the kickoff, in the butt stock, and it makes you feel better. And I'm like, why he's trying to load up the shells, and I'm like, man, come on, cameraman, y'all not helping the Beretta out. Like, I felt sorry for the Beretta people. And I got a Beretta.
I'll say this about a Beretta. My the oldest son, that's all he'll shoot. If it ain't a Beretta, he ain't gonna shoot. He don't like it. But last year I camoed a Beretta 300 for a guy, and I'll just say this: I have never dealt with a gun that was so nasty in my life. And this gun had never jammed on him. Never.
Really?
I tore this gun apart to camo it for him. The spring that goes back into the buttstock on it, it's got a spring in it like the Super Black Eagles does. And
right.
It had grass in the spring. And the fork that goes back into the buttstock, the metal fork that comes off of the back of the action on it, it's got a pin that runs through it, and that pin hits one side of it, goes back at action, and then hits the other side of that fork. One side of it broke.
Really?
He didn't even know it. And I ordered him another one, put one in it. But that gun, I think he said he got that gun in 2011 or 2012. And it took me a long time to get that gun clean. But he swore that gun had never jammed on him. And then I painted 2 weeks ago, another one for him that was the same identical gun, but was in much better shape. But that's a testimony to the 300 Outlander, because I'm telling you, he had put this thing through the ringer. It was bad.
They say you got to have like a special tool to take that thing apart. But so I have a 320 gauge. Let me pull this up on the camera on the screen here. So I have a 320 gauge, but one of my buddies that go hunting with me, he has the A400. And I've made a couple videos of the A400, and this is the A400 with the Streamer Plus with the kickoff and everything. But the comments, like on all my shorts, and the videos like the A400 because I guess because old Tim there was fondling that gun so bad that there's so many people making fun of him. I guess people are commenting on A400s, and this guy, he's like, you handle it a lot better than Tim does. Send this to Tim. Thanks for the video. And it's like, I mean, like, there is so many comments of, I mean, this video has been out for like a year or more, and everything with the A400, people's just commenting saying something about Tim.
Yeah. No,
I
I
mean,
have to look that. Seen that.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
I'll
I
have to
mean,
look that up.
yeah. Let's see. What if I can find it? I'm sure I can find it. I really don't want that in my search engine. I don't want my ads, but this is it right here. They calling it the struggle bus, and there's an ad playing. Guys, I can't skip the ad. Let's see. All right, right here. This man's talking, so I'm gonna mute it. So I don't know what that man's saying, so I don't want it to play across the screen here. But yeah. So he's messing with it, and that's that nice looking one with the wood stock, and I mean he's just fighting with it.
What is he dovehunting?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Yeah, I shoot a lot of trap and stuff," and then he starts talking about the butt stop and the kickoff, and yeah, it didn't go good for him. Like I said, the cameraman or woman or whatever did not help him out whatsoever. It's terrible. Jeff said that's why he shoots over and under. It never jams. That's not true, sir. My over. Well, let me clarify. You are correct, Jeff. They don't jam. So in my reloading shotgun shells, at the very beginning of me learning to load shotgun shells, occasionally you make a shell that either the crimp looks terrible on, or you just learning and it has a hole or something, and then when you turn the shell over, the pellets fall out. I got a box of
Ugly.
not like, yeah, like just crappy shells. Not like a box of. I got like a big box, so I keep it on my reloading stand. So if it doesn't fill up all the way, or the crimp doesn't fold right, or it's all twisted, instead of putting it in a good box, I throw it over here, and I call that box my over and under box, because like Jeff said, they're pretty much. I mean, you just drop them in; they're not going to jam. So if it's a little under power, or the pellets roll down the barrel, it's not the end of the world. So this dove season, I took my over and under like Jeff's talking about. Oh, it ain't gonna jam, and I took this whole box of shells, and I'm like, man, I'm fixing to send these things downstream. I don't care if the pellets are rolling out or not. So when you break the over and over, under and over open, so you break it down and you take your shell and you put it down in there. I wasn't thinking the hole where the pellets roll out is that way. So when I put the shells in, a couple of the pellets rolled out. Like I said, this was like at the very beginning. This was when I was using my lead load all. This was way before the mix. When I put the shell into the over and under, one of the little BBs rolled out, and when I locked it in, when it closed, one of the little lead BBs got stuck under the ejector part. And I spent the next hour and a half tearing that gun apart to get that one little flat of a pancake lead pellet. And I said, you know what? It wasn't even worth my time to even save these shells. I should have just cut the shells open, dumped the lead out, and poured a. You know, I didn't want to like waste a primer. That's pretty much what it came down to. And I'm like, man, this is terrible. Well, and the fact that it was a TriStar. So let's just put that out there too. It wasn't a name brand. It was a TriStar, but it's literally it was like when the over and under pops back, it's like a little lever that keeps that from popping open. And all it was one little 7.5 lead BB pancaked, and I could not get it without tearing that whole gun apart. And I couldn't do it out in the field because to tear it apart, I had to take the buttstock off to get into it.
Get some tools.
Man, I quit shooting them. I quit shooting them rejected shells. So the one time I over and under jammed. So that was my dove hunting this year's story. Don't shoot rejected shells. Just go ahead, cut them open. Don't waste your time on them.
Don't save the uglies.
Yeah, don't say the uglies. Just go ahead because you know they were pretty ugly shells, and I felt like they were pretty ugly enough that an automatic would probably have trouble shooting them. And I'm sure I'm not the only reloader that has some ugly shells out there. So I have learned a lot along the way, and really I think getting a mech definitely helped. Yeah, it was a user error, that's for sure. Only if they were recording me, I would end up on the internet like Tim there. Embarrassment. And the bad part is the 2 shells that I put in, 2 doves flew in, and I missed both of them. I'm talking about like textbook dove. I could have hit them with the end of the barrel. That's how bad I missed. And the bad part is I had 2 chokes in it from there was a guy on the internet, and I don't know where he got them from. He had 15 aluminum Muller chokes, and he was selling them for $35 each. And that's a killer price too. And I was like, well, how much would you sell me 2 of them for? And he told me, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 of them. So I had 2 Muller chokes in there. And I'm like, man, the chokes are worth more than the gun. It was crazy. No shot left in them. Nah, I learned something that day. Just it would have been easier. So there's learn from RD. If you're reloading, just cut the shell back open and start over. Don't put them to the side because even that don't even work in the over and under. Or I could have took maybe some fingernail polish or something and put it at the end to seal them off. Like I said, I've learned a lot. I've loaded a lot of shells since then too. So, and you know, I talked about it before with the lead off. You really can, not careful, you can push that wad down in there too far and collapse the wad, and that's what happened. I was actually collapsing the wad in there before realizing I couldn't manhandle the lead load off. But all right, well, we've been on here for about an hour and a half. You got anything else going on this week?
No, I'll be glad when my work schedule gets back to normal and I could start thinking about hunting and thinking about loading some more shells up.
Well, with all that overtime you're working, you can get you another supply of some TSS in.
I don't need none right now. I've probably got 6 pounds now.
Yeah, man, I might have to put you as a sponsor on the show. Talking about 6 pounds of TSS, Mister Show Off. You need some gold chains around your neck.
I didn't really have to have it when I bought that last 5 pounds, but when I bought it the first time and it was 46 or 48, and then I got a email from somebody that they had it for 30, I think it was 37 or 38. I went ahead and bought 5 more pounds of, because chances are you're not gonna see it that cheap again.
No, and then what people don't know, that's TSS. It's $37 to $40 something a pound. All right, good night, Jeff. We ain't got much more to be in that marsh, that's for sure, man. Y'all be safe out there. Hopefully y'all get some rain and keep them storms down. So yeah, how much you holding right there?
6 pounds.
6 pounds, and that's all you got right there. I mean, isn't that, when you look at it like that, and when it comes in, you get like 2 pounds for like $80, and it's like, well, and you gotta pay shipping, so 2 pounds for like $90, and you hold it in the palm of your hand, and you be like, man.
Yeah, it ain't much. It ain't much at
No.
all.
But
5 pounds bag it's small. It's about the size of a sandwich bag.
yeah. But I mean, there ain't nothing like it though. I mean, that TSS, man, it just hits different. I'm telling you, it just hits different.
See what it does, because I know what it does to a turkey, and I'm anxious to see what it does to a duck.
Well, I'll be interested to see maybe clean up water swatting what yours might look like. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be shooting yours this year because yours 20 gauge, but I'd be interested to see what kind of complaints or whatever you come up with on yours. But I definitely, like, in the air, if you own it, they are belly up. But trying to clean up with that TSS and steel, I think it's the steel, but and I know you. Yeah, I think the TSS is outrunning it, and then that steel catching up behind that shot stream. It wasn't that great for cleanup, that's for sure. Which, I mean, it kind of does hurt to use a TSS shell for cleanup, but it is what it is.
Yep.
All right, well, you be safe, and I appreciate everybody tuning in this week. Like I said, we definitely growing, so get the word out. Out on the website, RD Reynolds Outdoors, you can get some t-shirts, stickers. I know Jay's got a shirt on. You ordered another one, and it's the Snow Goose series one. I really like that new design on it. It's real pretty too. Below the videos, you can order straight from the store off of YouTube. So definitely get you a shirt and stickers. So next Wednesday, we'll be back at it. I got a couple of guests coming on that I'm trying to line up for the rest of the month. But like I said, man, we are so close. Our season comes in the 22nd. We'll get that 1 week split, or what they call sometimes first split, November the 22nd. So I'm ready for it, man. I am ready.
Yeah, I am.
Maybe I'll have the boat back together. But all right, well, I appreciate you coming on. y'all stay safe down there in Georgia, and I hope them people in Georgia get their power back on. We're still praying for the people in Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, um, South Carolina got hit pretty bad too up there in the Anderson, Spartanburg, Greenville. So that was a pretty bad storm. Like I said, man, I don't think the death toll from that storm. It's gonna be a long. It's gonna be a long. They got a long road to go.
So too.
So I know I took a lady that was going up there this weekend. I gave her. Well, I didn't. The wife went to Goodwill, and I don't even know how many jackets she bought. She bought a ton of jackets. She washed them all, but I think it was 3 bags of jackets all rolled up. I put 2 big 1 gallon containers of bar oil, and then I got a chain for a Husqvarna up in there, and they're taking them up there this weekend. So continue to donate, but also it is almost peak or getting to be peak foliage with the leaves and stuff. So there's still a lot of businesses open. So there's a lot of street signs and promotions going on saying, "Hey, we still open. We still need your money." So people that want to go to the mountains to look at the tree leaves and all the colors, remember, take cash and help them people along. But until next week, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna test out this new feature that they got on here that's supposedly supposed to play a word from my sponsors. So here's a word from our sponsors, and if it don't work, I get the word from the sponsors next week. All right, I see y'all. Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors, shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made full waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads, TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service, LLC, prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth-riding 40-foot air ride-equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC.